as you can. We'll do that one more time. For me, it's helpful to kind of make a little S sound as I'm exhaling. Inhale. Wow, I've got a lot of rubbish in me. Okay, so we're going to concentrate on the apana in today's practice. And I hope everybody has the props they need, a blanket, a towel, a block, if you need one, or anything else that will do. Remember to stay safe. When your body needs to rest, you rest. When a certain pose doesn't feel right, you either modify or come to rest instead. So we're going to begin in Ardha Padmasana, half lotus pose. So you'll take whichever foot is forward and bring it into your lap. You can use anything you need to prop up the knee if it's not comfortable. And then bring your wrists to your hip creases. Sit up tall. Feel the length in the spine. Take a deep inhale in. Now through the nose, long exhale. Move forward. Inhale to come back. Each time we're going to try to go a little further, lengthening the exhale. And this time the exhale is coming out of the nose. Inhale. Exhale, hinging at the waist. Keep going. Keep going. Breathe it out. Breathe it out. Inhale. Exhale. Trying not to round the spine. And back. Switch feet. Left foot comes to Ardha Padmasana, half lotus pose. And obviously, if this doesn't work for you, you modify. Maybe you bring the foot onto the opposite calf. This time, bring the hands to the knees. You're going to still try to keep the spine erect, but you're going to go a little lower with a little more forward motion since the hands are not here. Inhale, look straight ahead. Exhale. Keep going. Get it all out. Every last cobweb. Inhale, pull back. In breath. Exhale, close your eyes this time. Pushing out the blockages so the flow is uninterrupted. Inhale back in and then go right back down. Exhale. Retain the breath that it is with no inhale or no exhale here. And then inhale the arms up. Bring the hands together at heart center. Close your eyes. Set your intention if you have one. If you're aware of any types of toxic thoughts or worries that are getting in your way these days, let that be your intention. To let go of them. And then exhale. Bring the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. So we're going to begin to focus on the downward energy of the exhale on the apana. Even notice what the words sound like. Prana, the in-breath almost feels like it has wings. Apana has a heaviness to it. And we're going to breathe some of it down and out of the soles of our feet and our toes into the earth. So the soles of the feet are connected, hands are on the ankle. And now just take the right hand behind you and the left hand lightly resting on the right thigh. We don't want much of a twist yet. Inhale, lift through the crown. Slow exhale. Right hand on left thigh, left hand behind you. Fill up upon a downward energy. Good. So we'll be coming to all fours. You're welcome to use your blanket. If you want, actually before all fours, we're going to be on our back. You're welcome to use your blanket if you want for your knees. So with your seat in the middle of your mat, I hope you can see me here. Let me see if I can tip this a little more. We're going to come to the pose that's actually named for this apana breath. It's called apanasana. So you're going to pull your knees into your chest, bring your hands right below the knee. And on the inhale, lift the head up, point the toes toward the mat. Exhale, pull the knees into the chest. A little more concentration now on the apana part. So inhale, drawing the in-breath. Longer exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Slow. Inhale. Exhale. Squeezing out, eliminating. Rest your feet on the mat. Bring your arms to the side. Right leg raises up. You can bring your hands to the back of the right thigh. Don't let the left knee fall out to the side. And let's flex, doing the stretch in the back of the ankle and the calf muscle. And now point. Instep, shin, and neutralize the foot. Rotate it in one direction. Rotate in the other direction. Neutralize the foot. And then with your hands on the mat, just circle the whole leg in the hip socket 3 times in each direction to lubricate it a little bit. Good. Pull the knee into the chest, wrapping and interlacing the fingers around the shin. Lower the left leg. Inhale, chin to knee. Slow exhale. Inhale, keep the head up. Flex the foot. Slow exhale. Keep on going. There's more to exhale. Other side. Right foot bends. Left leg comes up. Hands behind the thigh. Flex the foot. Point the toe. Ankle circles. Other way. Hands drop. Circle the femur in the hip socket. Other way. 3, 2, 1. Lengthen the right leg. Pull the left knee in. Hold the shin. Inhale. Lift the knee, the chin to the knee. Exhale, hands down, leg up. And slowly lower. Make that exhale long. Still pushing through the heel. And rest. Let the feet turn out. Take a deep breath in. Hold it, breath retention. Make an S sound and blow it out through your mouth. Good. Both knees up. Bring the big toes together and pull the knees out to the side. Your hands are wrapped around the outsides of your shin. Lift your head so you're on your elbows and your low back. And rock side to side. So as you rock, you lift one elbow and then the other one comes down. So this pose actually means wind passing pose. You can see why. I hope you're alone. And then come back to center. Hands inside the thighs. Stretch it out. Keep your head up if you can. Pull your toes toward your shoulders. Exhale, knees in. Roll onto your right side. And then you're going to come onto all fours. So get yourself situated if you need the blanket under your knees. Make sure the knees are stacked right underneath the hip bones. Look at the middle finger pointed straight. We're going to take spinal balance with a little variation here. So I'm going to start on the left side just so you can see what I'm doing with my right leg a little more. You can start on either side. So left arm up. Now remember, it goes no higher than shoulder height. Right leg out. Foot is flexed. Two directions. Pulling back with the right heel. Pulling forward with the left arm. Now tone the belly, lift the pelvis. Try to keep the pelvic bones steady. Inhale and exhale. That was part 1. Part 2, same thing. Inhale Now lower the left hand. Bring the right leg around to the side. You can lower the foot. Exhale. Option for part 3. You can take it or not. Coming onto the elbows and sliding into the right hip a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, long. Back up onto the hands. Right leg back. Right knee to nose. Right knee down. Same thing on the other side. Set yourself up in good alignment, fingers spread wide. So think for a moment when I was talking about toning the belly, what you do not want in this kind of pose is something like this. So you want to be nice and lifted up. You don't want your alignment to change. And you need that lower abdominal stability. Okay, this time it's right arm and left leg. So look back. We don't have to lift the back leg very hard. Push through the heel. Inhale and then take a long Apana breath. And down. Inhale. Right hand down. You can keep your hands here and bring the leg out to the side, or you can try coming onto your elbow. Sliding into the hip, pushing it back a little. Long exhale. Up on the hands, leg back, knee to nose, left knee meets right, push back into child's pose. Head on a block or a blanket or on the mat, anything you need to get really comfortable here. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath. Letting the inhale and exhale be even here. And then back onto all fours. So we're going to come into a right lunge, right foot forward. And I want you to take a minute and think about what is your best way of doing this. So you can come to tent fingers, giving yourself the room here to bring your right foot forward inside the hands. You can also lift up, bring the right foot forward, and bring your hands down. And for some people, it might even be easier to bring the foot outside the right hand, but have the toes straight. So you find whichever works for you. Let's start on all fours. Listen to your body's intelligence. It'll tell you which it wants to do. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands to your hips. Tuck the left toes under. Feel the arch in the foot. Bring the right arm down to your side. Inhale up, thumb lead. Exhale, turn to the right. Inhale, left arm is over the right thigh. Exhale slowly, looking at the right fingers behind you. Hug in. Now take your left elbow, the one that's on your leg, slide it off and come to a twist here. So ideally stacking fingers and elbows and shoulders. Squeeze the inner thighs together. A big in breath, a slow apana. Back up, hands down onto the knees. Relax your toes, sit on your heels in Vajrasana. Inhale, exhale, roll the shoulders a little bit. Other side. Now, if you start noticing at any point that it gets really, really hard to exhale, don't force it. You don't want to force it, but it might mean that you're not taking a sufficient inhale to be able to exhale enough. The other thing, if you're not inhaling a lot, it could be that you are pushing it too hard. So then you maybe want to take smaller breaths. So when I say that we want the exhale a little bit longer, it doesn't mean that you're, trying to blow a cyclone. On all fours, think about how you might want to come into your low lunge. I come up on 10 fingers. I bring the left foot inside my hand. Push in. Now you feel that grounding. So we're working a whole lot with unblocking by grounding and anchoring and letting things go deep beneath the surface below us. Let the earth suck it up. Inhale up. Exhale, turn. Inhale. Right forearm is over left leg. So if you start getting wobbly here, spread your left toes a little bit, hug your thighs in together. You can stay here or slide the right arm out. Fingers point forward. Fingers stack. Keep trying to twist the left side of the chest up. Look up. Inhale. Now a slow exhale. Back up. Fingertips forward. Hips to heels. Stay intent fingers for a moment. Cross the right arm over the left and rest your head. And breathe. Normal breaths now. Let them even out. Remember, you do not need my permission to breathe or to rest in any way that you feel like you need to. Come back onto all fours now. Walk the hands forward a little bit and pull the hips forward so that you're in a knee down plank. Arch the back, take a little dip in the low back, pulling the hips up. Feel like you're trying to push your hands forward on the mat and come to your elbows. Draw your chest as far forward as you can and then lay that and your chin on the mat. Ashtanga Namaskara. Inhale and a long exhale. Slide the legs down. Right arm crosses left arm above this time. Rest. You can go ahead and move your hips side to side a little bit. Good. Lift the head now. Bring the hands together forward. Bring the feet together so the insides are touching. See if you can lay the head on the forehead on the mat or a towel or a block. The only thing we're going to raise in this version of Bhujangasana, cobra, not cobra, Shalabhasana, locust, is our legs. So hug them close together. First, inhale before you lift. Now, long exhale, lift the legs. Inhale to come down. Widen the legs a little bit. Head and arms and hands stay where they are. Pull the pubic bone down on the mat. Firm up your quads and your knees, point your toes. Take an inhale before you move. Exhale, lift the legs up, up, up. And relax down. And bring the hands toward the ribs, round the shoulders back. Spread the fingers wide. Legs are fairly close together, coming up into a cobra. That's the Bhujangasana. So first, pull the belly in. Inhale, elbows stay close to the body. Exhale. Come back. Tuck the toes. Lift up into downward facing dog. Shake the head, no, nice and slowly. Take turns pushing one foot down and then the other. Moving slowly. Always careful when we're specializing in a certain kind of breathing. You don't want to get dizzy. You don't want to move too fast. So your heart, even while your belly is trying to pull to your thighs and you feel the stretch in your armpit, it's as though the heart wants to touch the mat. Inhale the right leg up. Bring the knee to the nose. Flex the foot. Come back toward the left heel to dome the back a little bit. Look forward and stretch the right foot toward the thumb. Turn the left foot on the mat, and we're going to come right into a reverse warrior. So before you do it, make sure that the right knee is over the right ankle. Toes are straight. Left toes are turned out. Right arm lifts up. Left arm is going to lift up and then continue to go back. So inhale here. Now exhale, exhale, exhale. Feel the power in your legs, anchoring you to the earth, rooting you. So for nourishment to come up from the root, you have to let go anything that's blocking those channels. From here, we're going to straighten the right leg. Arms out, Trikonasana. Pull the left hip up before you go down. And slow exhale. 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 Hold the breath. Left hand on left hip. Right knee forward. Right hand on right hip. Try to square the hips as forward as possible. From here, we're going to come into tree pose, Vrikshasana. Find your drishti. Come up. Foot inside the thigh. Hands together. Lock the muscles of the right leg. Again, feel that elevator going down sense in the right leg. If you'd like to try a related mudra here with me today, bring your right thumb to your fourth finger and your other hands out. Stretch your arms forward. Bring the arms out to the side. Bring the fingers up till they touch and come down into Anjali Mudra. Left leg comes back. Right hands down. Downward facing dog. So I invite you to stay here in down dog, to come into child's pose, or if you'd like to take a vinyasa with me, inhale into a plank. Tone the belly, pull it in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Now a long, low exhale if you're in child's pose. If you're in down dog, everybody together. Exhale. Keep it going. Exhale. Good. Same thing on the other side. Left leg lifts. Knee to nose. Now, right heel pulls down to dome the back to give you a little more room. Step that left foot as close to the fingers as possible. Spin the sole of the back foot down. Inhale and exhale. Your warrior. Inhale. What else do you need to do to ground your feet? Can you feel all the edges? Are your toes a little cramped? If you could open them up a little bit. Take another inhale. Straighten the left leg. Arms out for triangle. Right hip up. Exhale. 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 And hold. Hold. Inhale the rise. Preparing for tree. Hand. Foot. Remember, the balls of the feet can even be on the mat. And if you want to try the mudra first, your drishti and your balance. And thumb to fourth finger, fingers forward. Extend the arms. Open. Channels opening. Blockages clearing. Hands down. Right leg back. Left leg back, downward facing dog, child's pose, or one more vinyasa. Your choice. Everybody in child's pose. Winding down here. Take a few breaths. Notice if just with regular breathing you feel anything different about the exhale now than you normally do. Come back to hands and knees. Bring your hands toward your knees. I'm going to face you, and you're going to come into a squat. So I want you to come into whatever kind of squat is comfortable for you. Some people like to take a blanket and roll it up under their heels, and they feel like they have more stability this way. I will tell you that the ancient yogis felt that this pose was best if your feet were flat on the floor and your knees were together and you could sit with an upright back. That's a pretty darn hard pose to do. But wherever you are with this, I want you to feel the aponic energy. I want you to feel that pulling downward. Hug in. So your seat is practically on the floor. Try to pull your shoulders back. Inhale and exhale. From here, we're going to come into lion's pose. So you're going to stay here if you can, if you're not comfortable and would rather come to Vajrasan with your heels, sitting on your heels, you can do that. But we're going to open our mouth, stick our tongue out, pull it down, and act like we're screaming, but no sounds coming out. So first a big inhale and go. And release. And come to your seat. Lift your feet off the mat for a moment. Feel how delicious it actually is to just sit on your seat. Good. Okay, facing your mat lengthwise. So we started in an Ardha Padmasana, a half lotus pose. So we're going to do that again if it's comfortable for you. If it's not, I'll show you the modification. So my right foot is on top of my left thigh. I want to keep the knee and the toes straight up without the leg going out to the side. If this is too hard for me, I can always put something under my right knee, or I can just pull the right foot in to the inside of the left thigh. If you can do the Padmasana, so this has interesting powers to work anal muscles. Okay, so you're sort of really, really concentrating on that elimination part of the body in this pose. Left foot flat. Inhale the arms up. Now don't worry about the breath. Now just exhale a normal, slow breath. Careful, don't go so far that your right knee starts hurting. The body will tell you when you need to stop. Breathe in as you pause. Exhale down. It's not about going low. It's about keeping the back straight. Feel how rooted you are into Mother Earth. Boy, is she giving us a ride right now. Hang on tight. Stretch the low back, look forward. Lift up. Right foot comes down inside the right thigh, but not touching it. Right shoulder inside the right knee. Right arm wraps around. So we're going to take a bind if we can. If we have a sock or a belt that we can hold together, that's great. We can just keep our hands here, or you can grab 2 fingers or the right wrist, whatever works for you. Flex the left toes, try to lengthen the spine. Feel like you're almost pulling the right foot off the mat in the way that you're so grounding your sit bones into it. Exhale, lift the right foot. Left hand comes outside the foot. Right hand cradles the knee. Pull the thigh back. And relax. Okay. Left foot, if possible, in Ardha Padasana, half lotus, using whatever you need. Flexing the foot, sitting up straight. The low back here you want to watch. That's where you're going to curve, and your front is going to want to bow like this. Old driving, texting, computer position. Hopefully we're getting a little bit of different kinds of movements coming into our body with new habits these days. Straighten up. Inhale up, just a natural slow exhale. Think of the crown of the head pulling to the foot rather than going down far. Inhale, lift up. Left foot down, left shoulder inside. Work with your challenges. I am hugely challenged between my right and left side because left shoulder's higher. That makes a huge difference in this kind of pose. So if I can't reach, I don't. If I need my sock, I use it. Right toes flex. Straighten the spine as much as you can. Open the chest. Notice what's been cleared. Are the sluice gates open now? Can you take what all these challenges are that's coming your way now and be with them without cramming too much worry and fear into them? Inhale up. Exhale, scoot down to your seat. I'm going to go a little past. It's about 5 of 6 now. I'm going to go a little on my clock anyhow. I'm going to go a little longer, just so we have a longer shavasana. What's the matter, Kitty? What? That's a cat on a hot tin roof. Okay, slowly lower onto your elbows. So we want to come back to Apanasana, but I'd like you to come to it while you're on your elbows. Round your back, and then come onto your back. Wrap one wrist around the other, lower your head, rock side to side. Open the feet to happy baby. Try to keep the forelegs parallel right here. And then lower the feet to the mat, knees are still up. Let's take one bridge pose, just as a bit of a counter pose here. Little bit of a back bend. Flatten your hands. Push your feet into the mat and just lift your hips a little bit. Notice what you feel in your quadriceps, just a slow, short lift of the hip. Now inhale, pull the hips up, hips, 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 stretching the quads. And notice what you're feeling in your back body, the thoracic spine, the muscles between the ribs. Bring your arms with your fingertips up, elbows are on the mat. Exhale down. Pull the knees into the chest. Take the right hand outside the left knee and pull the knees toward the right armpit. Left arm is up overhead. Right hand is sort of cradling the leg. Now slowly bend the left elbow out to a cactus arm and look over to the left. See if you can keep the left knee stacked on the right. If you need a blanket between, hi Sumaya. You need a blanket between your legs or a block, use that. Breathe normally. Exhale, head centers, knees roll up. Bicycle the legs a little bit. Bring the knees back in. Left hand over to right thigh as high up as you can manage. And over you go. Right arm above the head. Set up for a successful Jatara. Bend the right arm in a cactus arm. So it's fine if the feet get funky and hang over each other. As much as possible, you want the knees to align. And if you keep your hand on the hip, you can give it just not so much a pull, but a gentle invitation, pulling it closer in toward the left side of the body. Soften in the fingers. And inhale back up. Separate the knees, hands on your shins. Open the bent legs and close. Open and close. Bring the feet to the mat. Let the knees knock together. And then windshield wiper over to each side a little bit. If you need to take any other pose, plow pose is really nice for this practice. But if you're ready to go into Shavasana, settle yourself in, cover yourself with your blanket, find your socks or your hoodie. Allow your eyes to close. Facial features soften. Letting get go of focus on the breath. You've dug out the channel. You've cleared out the blockages. You've made room for whatever is to come without your own preconceived fears or worries. We are being tested in a big way these days. You give yourself credit. It's new, and the unknown is unnerving. Find that trust in you. Find the openness. Stay with the flow of the breath. As I let you go into a deep shavasana for a few minutes, last thing I'll say now is that I hope you're beginning to understand how much more important pranayama, the breath work, is than any asana, than any fancy pose you get into. Back to breath awareness. Wiggle fingers and toes. The spaciousness, the spring cleaning you've done. the bags you tied up and set aside for trash pickup. And slowly roll on to one side, using your palm to lift you up. And you can come into any seated position. You might want to try Ardha Padmasana or a full Padmasana, which is a very hard pose, but perhaps you're one of those people who doesn't have a problem with it. Lotus pose with both feet raised on top of the thigh. Sit up tall. And let's bring the arms out, palms up. Take a big in-breath. Exhale slowly with clarity, thinking about what that means. Bringing your hand to your heart center. And if you wish to join me in Om, the sonic sound, the harmony of the universe, we'll first take an inhale and then a long exhale and a short inhale to begin. Namaste. Bless you all. Stay healthy and safe. And I hope to see you real soon. What's Maya? Okay. Sarah, are you there?